Hi there, folks. I'm just going to do a question out here. I got a request for a question, so I'm just going to do it. It's to do with calculus, and it's for the Leaving Cert ordinary level. So we'll just take a picture of this here and we'll bring it up, and I'll talk you through it and how we go about doing it. Okay. This is would be a type of exam question that you could easily get. So we'll go through it here now. So a rectangular plot of land is to have a perimeter of 60 meters. So with these questions, it's very good to visualize them. Try and visualize as much as you can. So if we draw a rectangle there, right? So its perimeter, which is this here, that needs to be 60 meters. Okay, that's the first bit of information. Now, if the length of one side is x, okay? So if the length of one side is x, so that's going to be x, right? And it says express the length of the adjacent side in terms of x. So in terms of x means to write it as an expression of x. So let's have a look at this here. Now, we just call this y for the time being. So if that's y, this is going to be y. If that's x, that's going to be x. Now, we all know the perimeter of this here is going to be the sum of the four sides. So the sum of the four sides would be x plus y, which is equal to 2x plus 2y. But we also know it tells us here the perimeter is 60 meters. So I can say that 2x plus 2y is equal to 60. Or that 2y is equal to 60 minus 2x. So therefore y, or the adjacent side, is equal to 30 minus x. And if you think about it, let's think about it without the algebra, okay? If the perimeter is 60 of a rectangle, well then these two sides here are going to be, just do them in a different colour, and these two sides here are going to add up to 30, and these two sides will add up to 30. Now if you think about it, if say I said to you that was 10, well that would have to be 20. If I said that was 5, that would be 25. So what am I doing each time? I'm taking this number here away from 30. So therefore it's 30 minus x. And that's how we get that there. Okay, so that's the answer to part 1. So we just write part 1 here. So it's 30 minus x. That's a classic type of question that you can get asked. Now, if A is the area, express A in terms of x. So again, let's look here. So we have x and we have 30 minus x. Now, the area of a rectangle is length by width. So therefore the area is just going to be x times 30 minus x, and that's it in terms of x. So it's 30x minus x squared, because 30 times x is 30x, and x times x is x squared. So I know that the area is equal to 30x minus x squared. Okay. So for part 3, by making a table of values, sketch a graph of A against x for 0 to 30. Okay, so we're making a table of values. Now I'm just going to go up in 5s here. So I start off by making the table and I just do this. Okay, and I draw this across here like that. And we go like this. Now it's for the area. So we've got x, and x goes up as far as 30. So we go up in 5s. And the area is equal to 30x minus x squared. So in this case here, it's going to be 30. So whenever that's x, so I'm just going to replace it by 0. Or the number along here, minus 0. That gets me 0. When x is 5, that's going to be 30 times 5 minus 5 squared, which is 125. Then we have 30 times 10 minus 10 squared. So 300 minus 100 is 200. 30 times 15. Now again, if you wanted, you could do all the numbers up as far as 30, but there's quite a lot of work in that. So usually maybe 5 or 6 numbers gives you a good representation of the graph. So 30 times 15 is 450, minus 15 squared, which is 225. So the answer is 225. 30 times 20 is 600, minus 20 squared is 400, so that gets me 200. And what you'll start to see here is this, 0, 125, 200, 225, 200. It repeats on itself. And that tends to be the way with these graphs here, because when you draw them, you'll see why. Okay, so when I multiply that out there, I get 125, and 30 times 30 minus 30 squared gets me 0. So now, and it says here to draw a graph of that, okay? Or sorry, make a sketch a graph of A. So we're going to sketch a graph here on this, just on a separate page. So we're going to go from 0 to 30. And let me just edit that. Okay, so we draw a graph here like this. And we go across. Now, so you do your x-axis. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we also know, look, that it goes up as far as 225. So you can go up to 25s, because they all divide into 25. So we'll just look at this here. And so we'll do 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 200, and 225. And then we start filling it in. So 0 and 0. So now you just plot your curve like this. There you go, that's 0. 5, we had our answer as going from 125. So 5, it was 125. For 10, it was 200. For 15, it was 225. For 20, it was 200. For 25, it was 125. And for 30, it was 0. So that's my graph there, like that. So then I can draw it like this. I don't have the steadiest of hands, but roughly, that's what you get. Okay, that's your graph. Now, the next question we get asked was as follows. Use your table and your graph to estimate the greatest possible area of the graph. Right? So the greatest possible area, when you think about it, is going to be, and the value of that there is 225. Or if you look here, we can see here 225. So for part 4 of that question, the answer is 225. Now, use mathematical tools, table graph algebra, to find the dimension of the plot when its area is 200. So when its area is 200, which is here, okay, so x is 20, so we know that the perimeter is going to be 20 times what is 200? 10. So the dimensions then is going to be 20 times 10. Use mathematical tools, table graph algebra, to find the dimension of the plot when the area is 175. Okay, now when the area is 175, so you can use your graph for this one here, and this is what you do. So you go to find 175 as follows. We do a different colour graph, so 175, and you bring it across. Okay. Now, what you do is wherever it meets it here, you bring it down, and that's roughly equal to 8. So that's 7, so it's roughly equal to 8. So this point here is 8. Okay, so 8 times 22. And if you put into your calculator, so 8 times 22 is 176. So you're very, very close to that there. So, and again, it's an estimate. So you can say that the answer is, for part 6, use your mathematical tools, table graph, to find the dimension of the plot when it's 175. So it's 8. 8 times, and you can just do 175 divided by 8, 21.875. And that's all there is to that question there. Alright, I hope you found that useful. I hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions on it, just send me an email. Thanks, guys.